Alright, we're running the gauntlet today, and to start us off, as a bit of a warm-up, the final battle against Silver. Now he's going to be leading with an unevolved Sneasel. So I'm going to be using my Tyranitar to try and nail it with Stone Edge. But, seriously now. Oh great, it doesn't have anything better than Metal Claw against my Tyranitar. Well, I guess it served its purpose then. Oh, Stone Edge misses, of course. Now, yeah, I know Weavile wasn't there in the first two generations, but we are already well into the post-game, so there is absolutely nothing wrong with having that Sneasel evolve. And despite that, they decided to keep it that way. And, okay, I was sort of worried for a second there that Stone Edge would miss again. I would have been pretty pissed if that happened, because, well, that Sneasel's weak sauce. Did you see the damage it did to me in 2 turns? Almost nothing! Okay, anyway, next up we have Magneton. Well, Tyranitar's definitely staying in for that one. As long as it doesn't use Magnet Rise or other such shenanigans, I should be okay, but Tyranitar is even faster. And for the record, Magneton is faster than Magnezone, just as a little side note while we're talking about speed. But of course, it was a painfully obvious one-hit KO. So next, we are going to be facing... Hurry up, game! Alakazam! Okay, now I'm going to be doing the same thing I did against Sabrina. Instead of risking a Fail Blast to the face or a Psychic from Alakazam to Gengar, I'm going to simply fight it using Raiku's Shadow Ball, because now there's really no chance at all of a super effective hitting me. Oh, great. Super. And the amount of damage I did suggests that I probably would have killed it with Gengar anyway. But then again, Alakazam is much faster than Gengar, so things might have gone a little differently. Still, full restore, so I decided to go... I wasn't a fool this time. I went for Thunderbolt just to deal... Are you serious? Thunderbolt did as much damage as Shadow Ball? I'm sorry, but I'm doing the math in my head, and it doesn't make sense. Shadow Ball is supposed to do a lot more damage, so it has to be, a matter of having a very low damage roll with Shadow Ball and a very high one with Thunderbolt, and even there, I'm not sure that would be enough to justify that. Oh well, doesn't matter. Alakazam is down. Next up is Typhlosion, so I'm going to be using my trusty Lapras for this one. Now, Typhlosion is probably going to go first because Lapras isn't exactly the fastest thing around. Will-O-Wisp. Oh well. Well, the damage is sort of gonna hurt, but it's a special attacker, so the attack power isn't going to be affected at all by the burn. One-hit KO maybe? Yes! Okay, we're doing good. We're doing really good. Lapras really is an offensive force, so I'm really happy to have gotten that one-hit KO. Then again, Typhlosion is hardly a defensive force either. So next up, we have Gengar. You know what that means? Gengar Mirror Match! Like I love them oh so very much. At least when I have a level advantage. When I have a level disadvantage, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get the floor white with me. So, Shadow Ball is faster. It's probably going to go into one-hit KO since once again, I've taken down much bulkier ghosts than this Gengar with a single Shadow Ball in the past. And oh wow, I totally forgot that Reflect was up. So in retrospect, this was a really good decision to use Lapras against Typhlosion instead of Tyranitar. Anyway, he's down to his last Pokemon, which is Crobat. So I'm going to be sending out my own Speed Demon, which is Raikou. I could use Gengar, but its Thunderbolt is not stabbed, so I'd much rather have Raikou out there. The level advantage makes me a tiny bit faster than this Crobat, so it should be enough to end this battle very, very easily. once again, it's worth repeating, but I've been a little on edge ever since the fight against Blue. I've lost a lot of confidence, and it shows. I really don't dare to underthink things anymore and use Pokemon for the sake of just giving them free experience. You can't afford to do this at that point in the game, especially after the nightmare I've had against Blue. Don't forget to rest your Pokemon before you challenge the champion. That's advice that I'm going to be taking. Oh, shut up, you! Anyway, better change leads. I'm going to go with Who, because Will is going to be leading with a Bronzong, and that Bronzong, I know for a fact that it's a heat-proof gravity build, not the standard levitate stuff. And one of you told me, and you were right, that Jasmine's Bronzong was also the same set, so I should have used Earthquake instead of Sacred Fire, since even though Sacred Fire displayed its super effective, it was in fact neutral. So, this is it, guys. We're going to run the gauntlet for a second time. Expect it to be much tougher than the first. So we're starting off with the Psychic type, Wannabe Master, Will, and his Bronzong. So as I said before, I'm going to use that weakness to ground and start out with Earthquake. Reason why I didn't go with Tyranitar, by the way, is because I don't want to rack up too much Sandstorm damage for nothing on my Pokemon. I'm trying to keep them as healthy as... Oh, great. And here comes Reflect and probably a full Restore as well, so, good lord. He's not making it easy on me, is he? Let's see what Earthquake is going to do with that Reflect up. I'm sort of hoping for a critical, so I can maybe kill it if I have a high damage roll, which I just did. If I had that kind of damage roll before the Reflect, I would have killed it in one shot, but oh well, at least this is sort of stalling for time, for the Reflect to go out while I'm not in any significant danger. Next up, Grumpig. Oh, this is a bulky Psychic type. I'm going to take my chances, though, and go with Gengar, as I said before. Morty had a Spiritomb. No, not a Spiritomb, but Dusk Noir. And what was the first one he used as well? Oh, a Drifblim, that's right. Then I took them down in one hit anyway. So let's see, is that going to be enough to kill a Grumpig in one hit? Oh! You son of a bitch! And, oh, great. Confused now. What am I going to do now? Do I switch out or do I not? Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with Raikou because I'm not sure if that guy has Fail Blast or not. So I'm going to try and finish it off with... Oh, that was a good call! That was a really good call! Because Gengar would have probably died right then and there, and no more full restore for Grumpig for some reason, apparently. And so that means it turned out that that Hax I got on the first Shadow Ball was completely useless. Now, Jinx, I'm going to be using, I guess Tyranitar, because Jinx's physical bulk is a lot more questionable than its special bulk, and the last thing I want to do is keep it alive for too long. So I'm going to take my chances with a Sandstorm damage, and Forewarn alerted it to my most useless offensive move against the Jinx. Yeah, that ability absolutely blows chunks. So Jinx goes down very handily. That means there are two more Pokemon left. One of them is Xatu, and the other one is Gardevoir. I wasn't really expecting that, but once again, this is a Pokemon that has a lot of special bulk, but a lot less physical bulk. And, thanks for tracing Sandstream. It's not like it's going to be doing that much of anything. And down Gardevoir goes, once again, very handily. Gardevoir is faster than Tyranitar, but I guess the level advantage played a huge role in me going first. And for Xatu, okay, Xatu doesn't have very good stats across the board, and Shadow Ball, is that really the best it can do? That damage is going to be healed off by leftovers in its entirety! Wow! That Xatu is weak sauce against Tyranitar! Kinda like my whole team, actually. Yeah, I just went there. Anyway, Xatu went down. That means there's only one team member left for Will, and after that, we're going to be able to move on. Slowbro! I'm gonna try and go for it. I'm not exactly sold on my ability to take down its physically defensive ass with a physical Pokemon like Tyranitar, but I might as well try to, avoid racking up Sandstorm damage on my other team members, and okay, we got hacks again, and actually, using Tyranitar, very, very good call, because it used Amnesia and Tyranitar is completely unaffected. And one full restore. However, that defense drop that the first crunch gave it is going to mean that it's going to go down. Guarantee. It's always a bit sad, to win a battle because of hacks, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game, and no one really should feel that bad for winning or losing due to hacks, because there's going to be hacks when you start playing Pokemon. Now, those guys, they say the exact same thing as the first time around, so that's why I'm just blazing through the text, not even bothering to read it again, because we've already seen it before. This is Koga, Janine's daughter, and Poison-type user. Now, you might notice that I have kept Who in the lead. This is because he leads with a Skuntank, which has only one weakness, Ground, and I'm not using Tyranitar for the exact same reason as before, because I don't want to rack up Sandstorm damage on my other team members, because I used Tyranitar too early in this fight. Anyway, let's see, is Earthquake going to be a one-hit KO this time? Not again! Not again! And it uses Toxic. Oh, great, so that means I'm going to have to use status recovery items once this battle is over. Full restore, right. Stall as much as humanly possible for the poison damage to start racking up, and no, I'm not going to Tyranitar even if it kills me. Especially if I'm met with another Toxic as soon as it switches in. Let's see, am I going to get a higher damage roll this time? Hopefully, yes! Okay, this Skuntank is dead in the water, so let's see. Next up, after the poison damage takes its toll, Toxic Rogue! That means it's time to send Lugia in, because Toxic Rogue has this huge quadruple psychic weakness bullseye, and Lugia is much faster, so there's really no way that it's going to come out alive from that. It's like killing a fly with a cannon. Even though Lugia's offenses aren't the best, it's still more than enough to take it down very, very quickly. So, we got 4 more left for Koga. Crobat, once again. Well, I'm going to do the same thing I did to Silver's Crobat, and all of those Crobats I fought before then. I'm going to send out Raikou, and, oh wow, it's actually his ace. By the way, something that I failed to mention, the Elite Four's levels are relatively tame. They range from 58 to 64, but Lance's levels, on the other hand, are much, much higher. We're talking in the range of 68 to 75, so the Elite Four isn't going to be that much of a problem. The big problem is going to be Lance. Now, this Swallow, I'm sending out Lugia to kill it, holds, I think it's a Black Sludge. He either has a Black Sludge, Swallow, and the leftovers Muck, or the reverse, but either way, if you want to make a lot of these two items, bring a Pokemon with Gastro Acid or Skill Swap or whatever, then use Thief or Covet in order to get the leftovers or Black Sludge for yourself. So I guess we're going to see which one it is. Oh, the Swallow has leftovers, but okay, no full restore. Not complaining. Swallow goes down more quickly than I anticipated, especially since I expected full restore to happen.